from the 24th Woodstock Film Festival, and I hope your experience with us has been a good one so far.
Yes, it has.
Well, not just yours, but theirs too,
Okay.
but yours especially.
Okay.
All right, so it's so great. We have a full lineup. Of course, can you just pass me that list of people? I don't know, that was removed. That's today, right? Yeah.
I have more added. Way more.
Oh, great. And you're Eric.
That's me.
McGinty, Stockade. Oh, I've been hearing a lot about Stockade.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And I was planning on having this open ready for Stockade right in front of me. Here it is.
That's right.
Did you know you directed this movie?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You're familiar with that
Yes,
information.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And as let's see what else.
I wrote it. and I'm
Wait a minute.
one of the
It says
producers.
you're also the writer
Yes, yes.
and you're a producer on it.
One of them. Yeah, my wife is the main producer. I'm
Oh.
the second part.
Where's she?
She's with some cast members right now.
Oh, well, we can bring. Are they in the building?
No, they are not.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, you'll be fine
Okay.
in this noir thriller. Oh, it's a noir thriller.
Yes, it
So,
is.
what's your background in film, Eric? I mean, what's that you just? How many films have you made?
So this is my second feature.
Uh-huh.
I've done some shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Before I started directing, I was first AD for a long time, and I was also worked my way through the film biz. I location scouted, location manager, PA'd way too long when I was in my 20s.
Right.
You know, that type of thing. But I was a first AD for a long time. But this is my second feature, and you know, a lot of it is shot upstate. A lot of it is shot in Kingston,
That makes
Rosendale,
sense. Right.
And Tilson. In fact, we're having a screening tomorrow in Rosendale at the Rosendale Theater.
Beautiful.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. at the Rosendale.
That's right.
That's great. A lot of gain on this. So, where are you based?
I'm based in New York City. I live in Brooklyn, but I also have a place in Kingston, and in fact, I shot in my house.
I bet.
Yes.
But Brooklyn, you mentioned, right?
Yes.
Where's that? All right, I know. Pass me that water. Could you do that?
It's mine.
Thank you, Eric. Oh, that's
Okay.
yours?
Yes, it's mine. It's all right.
I want
you
his.
You can have it if you want.
Well, did you drink any of this? No, I'm kidding. Oh, look at that. I'm parched. So excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I just came from Kingston.
Okay.
So I was rushing over to make sure I could be here in time.
Well, thank you for being here.
And did you set out to write a noir thriller?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What are your influences? Okay, finish your thought. I apologize.
That's all right. No, there are a lot of reasons why I made this film, but one of them is I did want to make a film noir in upstate. I've seen a lot of indie films upstate, but not that many film noirs. And I thought Kingston would be a good setting for it. I mean, half the film's shot in New York City, but the other half is upstate. And so I've always loved film noir, and my previous film had film noir elements, but this is. It's not conventional, but it sort of sticks with a certain film noir framework to a certain extent. But, I'm not like following the conventions strictly or anything like that. I just like it as a framework to explore different themes.
I mean, is the majority of it, let's say, shot in the evening?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay.
So in that respect, it's a neo-noir, let's say.
Yeah, right.
In that respect. But,
is there a femme fatale?
There is a femme fatale of sorts, but she's
spot.
not that fatale. I mean, I totally, it's just a noir framework.
It's a loose framework.
Yes, it's a very loose noir. It's not, the Maltese Falcon or something like this.
Yeah. Oh, because I could have tried. I guess it's too late to get John Huston on the show.
Yes, I think so.
Yes. But were you always a film fan?
Always a film fan.
Really going back to when
for forever. I studied film, cinema studies when I was younger.
Where did you do that?
I did it in Paris and at the University of Pennsylvania. But I was in. I studied film in Paris for a year in this American program that they had there at the Sorbonne, and there were some of my colleagues were Lisa Kruger, who
I know her brother, friends with her brother Tom,
and Ellen Kurris, who has a film in Toronto. Ellen Kurris, the DP, and she's also a director.
Yeah. Do you know Tom Kruger?
No, but I've heard about him.
I ran into him yesterday. That's why I asked.
Okay.
He's friends with, I guess, worked with Ted Hope, and I was introducing a film yesterday that Ted's wife Vanessa directed.
Right. I want to see that.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, I'm very interested.
Sure.
In it.
Yeah.
So, what else? I was very interested in making a film where the protagonist was an immigrant, in this case, an immigrant artist, because often immigrants are like side characters in films.
Mhm.
So that was a key.
It's an Asian
part
actor.
of it.
It's Korean.
No.
Oh, sorry.
She's a Lebanese.
Oh, right. It does say that here.
She's Lebanese.
Yeah.
And even though she was here studying drama, acting, she was having problems with her visas, and as she admitted to us last night, she still is.
Oh dear.
And because you have to keep, as a foreigner, as an artist, you have to keep renewing your visa every 2 years. So that her whole personal struggles sort of inspired part of the story.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
the word on the street, Eric, is good.
Good.
People seem to like Stockade a lot.
Well, that's great. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. Again, you had your first screening at the Tinker Street on
That's
Friday.
right.
How'd that go?
It went very well, and that was actually our world premiere. It's our first public screening. Yeah.
So you must have been
I was excited.
white knuckling it a little.
Yes, a little. I mean,
Of
I'd had
course.
a cast and crew screening, which you're not supposed to talk about, but it was just
Right.
cast and crew.
In Kingston, I bet. You son of a gun. Or in Brooklyn.
No, it was
Kings
in a very,
County,
It was
not
a very
Kingston.
private screen. It was a
Yeah.
very private screen.
We won't.
This is the first.
Nobody's watching.
This is the first public screen. There's no doubt about that. So I'm very happy to have done it in Woodstock. Half the film is shot up here,
Right.
and it makes perfect sense.
Sure. Yeah. A natural place to have the world premiere.
Exactly.
And I love seeing old movies all the time,
Mhm.
and I get really I go through waves of just where I can't get enough.
Uh-huh.
What is it about that? What is it about the classics?
I mean, film noir, I always liked it because it's always sort of an ordinary person fighting against a corrupt society, or at least gets caught up in something bigger than herself.
Yeah.
Let's say, and has to deal with it. And I always like those tensions in a movie.
Yeah. Billy Wilder had a couple of.
Yes, he did. Absolutely. I mean, Lost Weekend is sort of a film noir in a way, even though it's not. It's about an alcoholic
Recovery story.
Yes,
Yeah.
But this is a very contemporary film. It's all dealing with now. A lot of it was shot during the pandemic, and we don't shy away from that. It's a shot at a moment where people were vaccinated, but there was sort of a lull in the pandemic. But the pandemic was still going on, so people wear masks occasionally and talk about it. Not excessively, but it's mentioned. And I really wanted to stick to that. And it's a very, contemporary film, even though it's, film noir, you always think of black and white, the Venetian blinds and Humphrey Bogart. It's not that.
Yeah, Fred
really.
McMurray.
Yeah, that too.
And how long have you been based in Brooklyn?
Oh, God.
Oh, you've been down there a long time.
I've been there a long time.
Yeah. Which neighborhood?
Right now I live in Williamsburg.
I ask.
Yeah, I moved there when there were still artists there, and now there are fewer and fewer of them. It's sort of a mall. I have a 14-year-old daughter, so she likes the fact that those
Bedford
neighborhoods
Avenue.
become a mall.
Bedford Avenue.
Yeah.
But have you? Is everything okay? Because they were flooded there in Williamsburg specifically.
Torrential rain. The L is down, from what I understand. But I think, strangely enough, where we are, it's okay. It's okay. But I know my daughter goes to high school in Manhattan, and she was stuck in Manhattan. She couldn't get home. The L was closed down. So we had to organize.
I don't recommend the breaststroke over the East
No,
River.
No, but she got home, so that's all good.
Very good.
That's all good.
Okay, well, we've been talking to Eric
McGinty.
Who is the director and screenwriter and one of the producers of the film.
And actually, I have a role in the film. I'm one
so
of
you're
the
also
characters
an
in the
actor.
film. Yes, I am. I mean,
How'd you get cast?
Oh, I don't know. Some guy came up to me and said,
Looked in the mirror.
Yeah, we need to fill this role.
Is that something?
I started, in this business, I started in acting. I was in high school, college, and after college, I did some acting, and I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
But you have to be a masochist in this business, but I'm a different type of masochist. Directors get turned down all the time, but it's sort of different than the actors. So I gravitated to another.
It's hard to not take it personally when people like, yeah, you just look wrong.
Right.
We don't want you.
Right.
As opposed to a director is like, they look at your, if you're a right fit for a particular, I mean, in a sense, what's happening to an actor, but it seems so much more personal.
Yes.
I don't know how people do it, and I was married.
Well, I respect
married to one.
actors a lot, and
Yeah.
it's a very tough job, despite.
I agree. The toughest.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on your second feature. It's called Stockade, and it's having one more screening at the Rosendale tomorrow. Hey, Nick, we'll just get somebody on next. Okay, we're ready. And it's playing at the Rosendale tomorrow.
Yeah.
At 4 p.m. Oh man, that's great. I by the way, I'm going to recommend Eric. Next door or 2 doors down me is a great cheese shop.
Oh, okay.
My friend Yuval runs, so I'm going to recommend that. It's called the Big Cheese.
Okay.
I think it's called the Big Cheese.
Well, we shot a scene in the beautiful garden at Soy, and before the screening, a lot of us are getting together at Soy Restaurant, which is across the street.
Oh,
down
good
the
to.
lane.
Oh,
Yes.
sort of. Are you saying before or after?
Just before.
Just
'Cause it's a
before.
4 p.m.
So people are
screening.
going. They can stop by and say hello to you.
Yes, if they want.
It's a great
yes.
Eric McGinty, Brooklyn's own.
Right.
You know, I hope everything. I hope the trajectory for your film and future. Are you going to run it through a few more festivals?
We hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Are you in that?
We don't know yet exactly.
Okay.
But
This one you got down.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I hope you have a very robust experience with the film. I hope you have much success, and I really am honestly looking forward to seeing it as soon as I can.
Great.
You know,
well, I
as
hope
soon
you
as
do.
it's available. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Thanks very much.
Really nice meeting you.
Yes, nice meeting you too.
All right, enjoy the rest of the festival.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you bet. You bet. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's so awkward. It's like an obstacle course getting the heck in and out of here. So anybody can do it. Shannon?
Yes.
Oh,
Hi, how are
great.
you?
Nice to meet you, Shannon.
Nice to meet you.
Adam, nice to meet you. And your film is My Vagina.
Yes.
Now, wait, was
You didn't
that?
read that wrong.
No. Was that one of the mature animated shorts?
It is.
Okay,
It
I
is.
saw it.
Oh, you did see it.
Yeah, I was there. So
It's stop motion animation. It was made with claymation.
yeah. There were a bunch, and
Yes.
yeah. Interestingly, so even though they're called mature animated shorts,
Mhm.
they weren't all necessarily on the topic of let's say sexuality.
Mhm.
Is it fair to say, or
Yeah.
the human biology, or what have you? But so it's kind of this is in no way criticizing our incredible shorts programmer because it is putting those blocks together is always a
Yeah.
challenge, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, but there were some really wonderful films, including yours.
Incredible.
So-
It was an honor to be among them.
Tell me, well, first of all, where are you from?
I live in New York City, downtown Manhattan.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
from Jersey, so hence
Where?
the big hair. So
Not
in
big, not
Middletown.
remotely big. You-
Middletown is in the middle.
Middletown.
Yeah,
Okay.
near the shore.
Oh, yeah.
so-
Wait, is that Monmouth County?
Mhm.
Yeah, my family's from there.
Oh no way! Where?
Yeah,
in
my
the-
mom is my mom
Yeah.
grew up in Red Bank, but my aunt is
Stop.
currently in
I grew up-
Fairhaven.
They're in Fairhaven.
Yeah.
I grew up. My mailing address was Red Bank, but we actually lived in Middletown.
Okay, yeah, I had it took me a moment to remember, but I knew that was right near there, and yeah, so they're in Fairhaven, which is
Mhm.
nearby. This is such scintillating conversation for
Yeah.
our viewers, but listen, it's a connective experience being at a festival. This is why we're here, right?
Yep.
It's usually
Yep.
connecting over film, but sometimes you just never know who you're going to meet. So Shannon and I already feel like we're kind of mishbucha here.
Yeah.
And and then my grandparents were in Elberon when I was growing up, and then for the majority of my childhood. So I spent a lot of time, and I still do. I was
Yeah.
supposed to be there earlier last week for the Jewish holidays, but I couldn't get down there.
You were up here.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about My Vagina, shall we? You made it. That's the title you gave it, so people like myself would have to say that.
Say it with air quotes. Yeah.
Tell me about your background, and because
Mhm.
you have to, I'm guessing, did the claymation.
I did not. I actually wrote it.
You wrote it and directed
and
it.
produced it. I
Okay.
co-produced with
stand
Neil
corrected.
Burns, who is the animator,
Okay.
and I wrote it with Danny Bernstein, who is this wonderful composer,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
he wrote the music, and we wrote lyrics, and I co-directed and produced. So, yeah,
Did
It's I mean, my background is I've been an actor off Broadway,
Oh.
TV, film for years. And
Have you done Law and Order?
Of course.
I knew before I
So,
asked.
Um,
That's like a
yeah.
just what do you call it?
It's like the staple.
yeah. Every young actor.
It's how you pay
does
your
a lot.
rent as a theater
Yeah,
actor.
sure.
You go on Law and Order, and it's really fun.
Right.
But I started. Actually, I mean, I actually was diagnosed with breast cancer several years ago, and I started writing a musical because the book that I bought was the Breast Cancer's Manual Survive. And they asked you at the end to choose 5 things in 5 years. And I had this idea for a musical that I really wanted to write. And so it became my way of coping. And I could escape into this fun, campy world. And I ended up making a short of one of those songs. And then my son, listen to me, I'm like tragedy. My son was sick when he was little. And so I got a nursing degree. Some people read an article and I went and got a nursing
Really? You
degree.
got a nursing degree?
I got a nursing degree.
Because your son was
Yeah,
fighting?
because my son
my
was
God,
sick,
that's a beautiful
and,
story.
And so I was working as a nurse during the pandemic, and I had to lean on my creativity to process what was going on around me. And part of it was being in mother baby and NICU. I was taking care of these women who were literally like crumbling in my arms, and it just made me really understand that there is so much pressure on women and the expectation is crushing. So I decided to write this story. And of course, it's told through humor. I do have serious stuff that it still has comedy because I still love to laugh.
Yeah. And, I love by the way, now the whole thing is coming back to me. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do finish your thought.
Yeah. No. So what I did is, and then I decided that I wanted to make a short of one of the songs. And I did choose the most salacious, provocative song, but it's also, I did it for a reason because it's an encapsulated story. It has a beginning, middle, and end, and it stands on its own. And I wanted to see if I could find the tone of the piece. And it sort of, and it was honestly just an absolute blast to work on. And I had so much fun, and it really did help me process everything that was going on around me.
For the viewer, of course, it's just a fun 4 minutes because it's like you said, it's one song this woman sings. The animated version, a little like she has short blonde hair. I'm just saying.
I know.
It's not big hair.
It's not autobiographical.
I know. But she takes the equivalent of a D-pic, right? Like, right? Essentially, that's what the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
she,
a very
by
cute-
accident, sends a picture of her vagina to her male nanny, instead of her boyfriend. And the male nanny is also a teacher at the school. So then the whole school has a picture of her vagina.
Wow. Yeah.
And she kind of has to deal with the fact that she made a mistake. And that just doesn't happen in her world.
Yeah. And you could choose to since when you make such an enormous mistake in life, and we're all victims of doing that, or guilty of doing that, you own it, and you can just find it. It can be on some level liberating because what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's out there. There's nothing you can do to reverse it.
Yeah.
So you may as well just own it.
And I find that I wanted to also incorporate the way people are spinning things today, where it's
Yeah,
like at
right.
one moment she does own it, and she's like, I did it. I did it. And then though she starts to go back to what's been happening today, as she realizes that she's just going to spin it because she's going to say, oh no, that's not my vagina. Somebody else, that must have been like hackers or something. So, and that's why she ends with an I'll lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. It's kind of like, she's actually not based off me, but Kellyanne Conway. So that is actually the inspiration for
another
that
South
character.
Jersey girl, right? I only know that because I was literally, Shannon, listening to a political podcast, which is an addiction. But and the guest on it was also a Jersey girl and knows Kellyanne from the way back, both being from Jersey. So I did not know that she was from Jersey until I heard that. But interesting. Yeah. And is this your first time at the Woodstock Film Festival?
It is, but I also realized, like, as an actor, that I've had like a film here, and so I've been here, but not in person.
Okay.
So a film that I
Understood.
acted in
Understood.
was here a few
Right.
years ago.
Well, that's nice. So you kind of have in a certain way.
I have to just say that this festival is wonderful. Like it is, I've been going to several festivals with this. My vagina has proved to be popular. So I've been going to different
Okay.
film festivals, but I have to say, like, I really think that the Woodstock Film Festival curates their films beautifully, like the way they put them together, the ones that they choose, and just their atmosphere and how it feels so friendly and supportive is really, really fantastic.
There you go.
Oh,
Thanks very
thanks.
much.
Yeah, just, no problem. No, it's no personal plug.
I didn't mean to pull a 20.
I was like, do you think I'm that cheap? No, I'm kidding.
No. And I really appreciate meeting you. And I'm sorry I dashed out after the screening. I'm sure you were at the Q&A. Did you meet Sean Ono?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. He's actually very funny. And
He is, and
sweet,
we
so
talked to him
lovely.
yesterday.
His piece was beautiful.
And you're sweet and funny too. So thank you for stopping in. And people, how can they keep in touch with you and maybe eventually see?
Yes, they can go to shannonburkett.com, SHANNONBURKETT,
Right.
and go to my website, and you'll get hooked up with different ways to get in contact with me.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Great meeting you.
It was
I hope to run
lovely
in.
meet you.
Yeah.
And you as well.
Thank you. Yeah. Under these circumstances,
Yes,
but
be quick.
yeah, but and in public, but we'll I'm sure we'll have the opportunity again. That was let's see, Shannon Burkett. She has this really she's a big talent. That was very, very funny short. My girlfriend and I watched that together the other night. We had a blast. We are ready for our next friend here on the Woodstock Festival podcast. Come on over. Yeah, both of you. Don't be shy, please. This is are you Darren?
I am.
At last we meet.
We have many friends.
I know. I've seen you. I'm like, why? What film did I see your name plastered all in the credits? That you. Well, it would have been A Cow in the Sky.
Yes.
See how quick I am. Yeah, but careful. I know it's very easy to trip over here. It's very tight, as I mentioned, getting in and out of here. We are going to welcome, and you are
C. Fraser Press.
what?
C. Fraser Press.
Seif. Oh, okay.
C. Fraser, yes.
Okay, I got your. Oh, C. Fraser Press. Are you related?
We actually are married.
What's that? You can say out loud. What? Okay, you got it. We'll keep it a little on.
We'll talk fast.
Sorry. I saw this. Wait a minute. I saw this.
Yeah, mature. I saw you at the screening.
Oh, you did?
We were mature.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we
audience.
wave at each other?
It was like, hey.
It was a little bit like that.
and
I'm
we were
sorry.
like, hey,
Yeah. I thought I recognized you. Probably just from Two Dimensionally. Is it possible?
yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Aren't there there's mutual friends?
You know,
on,
Sylvia Kamner, Marie Therese Gutierrez.
Yes, of course.
So these are, I think, how we met.
Oh, did you work with? Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah. Oh,
It's okay. It's okay. They may be watching. Wait. So it was, of course, Marie.
Therese.
Yeah, Marie Therese. What was the first one?
Sylvia Kamner.
Sylvia Kaminer on the Rick Springfield document. Did you work on
I
that?
didn't work on that, but
Okay.
I worked on a project with her prior, and
I see.
she and I a while back when I think our names first kind of crossed paths.
Okay. Yeah.
She may have been the one
Something.
that- We did a film called Teresa is a Mother also, which was years ago. We may have been in touch with each other because you had that film wax.
I still do it. Yeah, I did. I posted a. Speaking of animated, Signa Bauman. Do you know her? She's sort of like a protege of Bill Plimpton's.
Okay.
And is released too. I should put her on your radar because she's not here. Her film is literally coming out next week at the Quad and then in LA. So she couldn't be here, but she comes every year to the Woodstock Film Festival, and she's a very talented animator.
Oh, wow.
And filmmaker. I'm very talented.
Yeah, wow, this
And
was our first foray
Into
into
it.
animation.
Yeah.
Tell us, okay, so I remember the clouds. Oh, of course. This is a very moving story. It came back to me based on a real story that happened, right, of a victim of white supremacy,
Yes.
correct? But I'll turn it over to you. Yeah, very powerful, and it involves this very kind of, the son who's telling the story, narrating, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
His father's story.
It's from the perspective of the son when he is a teenager and
Right.
is pursuing his dream of being a pilot. So it's during this first solo flight as a pilot where he's sort of coming to terms with reconciling with his past and
Right.
and this really painful part of his past, and then And then it becomes a moment where he sort of finds a part of himself and his own strength.
And peace, right? With that.
Right.
A little bit, yeah.
Peace, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to give away too much, but although I don't know how people can see unless it's coming up in another festival or two.
Well,
Some
we
festivals
just got
coming
into
up.
Portland this
Oh,
morning.
what?
and We're doing Kerry International Film Festival.
Anyone's in Ireland?
Wow,
We
that's
premiered
exciting.
Tribeca, so it's
Yeah, talk about getting something I haven't been talking about with folks is talk about the whole process and experience of getting short films into festivals. And what? How many shorts have you made? I mean, I know this is
This
your
is our
first animated.
Third,
Okay,
right,
third.
yeah.
Yes.
And we did a feature also, so
Right.
we've been to a fair amount of festivals.
Yeah. But how is how is the shorts process? Is it? Here's how I always, as a sort of a programmer adjacent type of person, I'm sort of have a couple of toes into the programming area. And I certainly talk to enough filmmakers where I know that a lot of festivals, the shorts are kind of, it's a perfect match because shorts don't typically have a lot of distribution options.
Right.
So festivals, in a sense, become one major
They're a
way
major,
Correct.
yeah,
Ma-
they're
way for
a
people
major
to-
important
yeah.
part of
and now, of course, streaming is also a great help to shorts because, it's another just way to get in front of that many more eyeballs because
Right.
it's, you don't typically see feature shorts theatrically otherwise. And it'd be great if there was just some, there must be a short streaming service, I'm assuming.
I think there are,
But there are a lot of
more
streaming services.
now than there.
They exist, like you were
Yeah.
about to say.
Yeah.
They're out there. I think for the most part, people who make short films are not really looking at that $ end game
Right.
in the process.
Yeah.
And they're probably not going to find it unless
Right.
something really unusual happens. But they could use it as a proof of concept for a feature, which is exactly what we're doing
Okay.
with our film.
This one?
Yes.
Cowan-
Yes.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Yeah, well, this is definitely a story that should be told, and more importantly, people can in larger audiences see it. So that's great. And I don't know if you know this guy, Guy Nativ, the filmmaker. He's an Israeli American. He lives here, and he just released a movie. But he intentionally about Golda Meir. But
Okay.
he intentionally make shorts. And I'm like, why do you continue to make shorts once you've made started making features?
Yeah.
And he goes, it's exactly the way you describe it. It's a way to develop sometimes, the feature or see if that's something that will
Right.
make sense to do after you made the short. But also, it's just a great story form, And so,
That's exactly how that was our process. For
Okay.
This one. I mean, we were originally going to jump into we're getting the
it's so I know that's the lovely Maya. She is. I'm sure she's trying. I know it's a cutthroat business, literally.
yes.
Because she's doing this sign. This is a better one, or that's like lengthen it, right? Keep going, maybe.
Yeah, or I mean,
Yeah, you
I've
might-
seen this too. in the past. I've gotten all them all. It's
Yeah,
okay. Mine, it's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's our process. We started with the short
Mhm.
and as a proof of concept, and we saw
Right.
that there's a much bigger story to
Although
tell.
I'll add just quickly
Yeah.
before we get off, it was also really important to us on this one that the short was its own piece. We didn't that it
Right.
really held its own and was a
Yeah.
piece of could
Yes.
exist in the world with or without the feature.
Right.
So
Good. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you've been given the. Let's stay in touch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't get. Are you here through tomorrow or?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe are you going to be at the ceremony tonight? Or all right, I'll see you there.
Excellent. It
We'll
was
hang
good to
out.
see you.
All right.
Nice to meet you, Steve.
It was really
Hi.
good to see
And
you.
Darren. Great. Same. I love finally meeting people that I been kind of orbiting around. Great meeting you both.
And then I occasionally see you playing the guitar on YouTube.
I know I play guitar sometimes. It started during the pandemic, and it's just my way of bringing joy to the world. Thank you so. That's nice of you. Thank you. All right, what a great group of folks, by the way. Thank you, Maya. What a great folk. I mean, this is like so much fun. Who needs Katie here? I can do this all by myself. No, I'm kidding, of course. Hey, man, how are you?
How's it going?
Good. Are you Steve?
I am not Steve.
Oh, who are you then?
I am Adam Kolodny. I'm the
Oh,
cinematographer.
Adam Kolodny?
That's my brother, the director.
Oh, and you're the DP? Is that what you said? The featherweight? That's a feature?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not. I work at the festival. You figure a knuckle brain like me should know every. But I'm so. Oh, thank you. I'm so busy. Can you see that? There you go. The featherweight. It's about a boxer? That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a narrative.
Yes,
feature.
I'm very quick. All right. Wow, that is like. Have you done another film about boxers?
This was my first time in this specific genre.
Okay, I asked Adam, which is my name as well.
Yeah, which I love.
Makes it easy to remember. Well, I should hope so. But I've had other filmmakers. I do a podcast of my own, and I've had other filmmakers who have made boxing movies, and I'm just thinking that's got to be really hard. You have to be a real kind of choreographer. I mean, I assume there's substantial amount of boxing
There's a good amount
represented
of boxing.
during the film,
Yeah,
or is it?
it's largely a family drama.
Okay,
But there's a substantial
Like the
amount
boxer?
of boxing.
the fighter.
In a lot of ways, like a hectic, small town family drama.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there is a lot of boxing, and we had an amazing fight choreographer.
Okay.
Named Ernie Reyes Jr.
Ernie who?
Ernie Reyes Jr.
Okay.
Who
former
working with
boxer?
him was amazing. He has a background in all sorts of martial arts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he working with his team was amazing to kind of figure out exactly how to sell the boxing. And then our lead talent also trained with several boxers to kind of get into shape for the film.
Yeah.
And it's based on real boxers, so they were watching a lot of tape.
Was it left out of the program?
Yeah, we were a late edition, last edition.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, we're the
You may not have
closing
been
night
in at
feature.
all. That's great. I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys got in. Okay, so I will do rely on. I was wondering why I wasn't familiar with it. So wait, did you had a screening already?
We had a premiere at the Venice Film Festival.
Okay.
And this is our U.S. premiere.
Oh, great!
Sunday.
You were at the Venice Film Festival. That's like one of the great festivals in the world.
It was a great experience.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
Did you meet anybody that you were real excited about?
Personally,
Yeah.
I met Robbie Ryan, who's the cinematographer of Yorgos Lanthimos' films.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And
That had to
he
be
was
fun.
lovely. That was,
Yeah.
that was
I almost thought you were going to say Robbie Mueller, but he's dead.
Yeah,
And he's one of the
R.I.P.
great cinematographers.
Absolutely.
Right.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
of Robbie Miller.
Oh, how can you?
I
not be?
didn't meet him.
Vim Vendor's cinematographer, and we're going to go see Vim Vendor's new film tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah, I'm hoping to go.
Yeah. No, Robbie Mueller did not shoot it though, sadly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
They were doing a retrospective of his films at Metrograph in New York City.
Yeah, that's right.
now.
Of Robbie. That's right.
Robbie Mueller,
That's right.
yeah.
Great place to see it. So you're down in the city?
I am.
Yeah.
I live in Queens.
Oh, right. Where?
Ridgewood?
Oh, wow. That's kind of real Queens.
Yeah.
Not that all of Queens is real. I grew up in Queens, on the mean streets of Forest Hills, back a long time before. Probably maybe you might not even have been born. But boy, it sucks to be able to say that. Is there another screening over the weekend still?
One
Or is
screening.
What?
Just the one.
The one screening?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sunday.
All right. Well, I had to go. Where was it?
It hasn't happened yet. It's,
Oh, no, it's Sunday. You said
Sunday.
one screening on Sunday. Oh,
Yeah.
let's talk it up then. For
Yeah.
Pete's sake, Adam, don't just sit there.
Yeah.
And where's Robert, by the way?
He's actually right over there.
Why isn't
I
he
think
coming
you might
over?
be getting him later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. We'll talk more about maybe getting into more specifics about it. But so it's that Sunday. Here it is. Like all I have to do is pay attention, and I might be able to actually do a competent job. But I have this thing where I get so excited. I'm not even exaggerating about talking to people and meeting people that it takes me a minute to catch up to just the kind of more practical information. Here is a flyer you handed me. I even showed it to viewers. The Featherweight is having its U.S. premiere with cast and crew in attendance for the Q&A on Sunday, October 1st at 9:30 p.m. at the Rosendale. And by the way, when you're there, I don't know if it'll still be open that late. Probably not. I was going to say there's a great cheese shop. I don't know if it'll be open that late. But I really do. I wish you much success with the Featherweight. I really look forward to an opportunity to see it. Mention who's playing the who's the lead actor.
The lead actor is James Matteo.
Okay.
You might know him from Band of Brothers or
Oh,
The Basketball Diaries.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
With Leonardo?
Yeah, with Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, he's phenomenal. He carries the film, and then
and his name again is
James Matteo.
James Matteo.
Yeah.
Okay. You gave me a few things to bring up with your brother.
Yeah, he bears a striking resemblance to Willie Pep, who's the actual boxer that's represented in the film.
Okay.
And he does an amazing job with all, with the boxing and with, the dramatic aspects of the role.
Can I keep this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
For you.
All right. Great. Nice meeting you. We can talk cinematographers another time, or I'll try to come to your
We'll
screening.
talk about all the great Robbies of cinematography.
Exactly. And Adams.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Great meeting you. Thank you. A lot of fun. It's sure. Feed them along. This has been we're here at the I do have to keep one eye on the time. Okay, we're only at 2:30. That's good. We're just talking to all sorts of filmmakers who signed up to come on the podcast. So this is very spontaneous. I haven't seen the majority of films. I happened to see Shannon's short just by happenstance. But hi, you are brother to Adam, and this is Steve Loff, the writer of The Featherweight. Oh, come on, let's squeeze in. By all means, just use your outside voice, actually, so we can hear you.
Sure.
I'll do it. Oh, great, thank you guys. We're kind of a work in progress. I'm actually impressed how much we've been able to pull off here with our this podcast, given the circumstances. So, but next year, if you come back with another Featherweight 2, perhaps.
Featherweight 2 still waiting.
So you said you're a producer?
Yep, writer.
You wrote the screenplay?
Yes, I did.
Oh wow, okay. And I hear you premiered at Venice.
It's true.
How did you pull that off? That's one of the biggest global film festivals there is.
Yeah.
And are.
We were privileged to be invited there, and they have a great team, Julia and Alberto, and it was a dream come true.
Wow.
Played to a sold out 1,200 seat crowd, 5-minute standing ovation.
They were. I mean, it's just that the fact that everybody, wants to go to the festival because it's like, again, it's one of the great festivals. If Cannes, Toronto, Vienna. I mean, we all know, or Venice rather. Right? We all know that. But you figure I have to imagine an unknown quantity, right? You're not a known filmmaker in Venice.
This is my first film.
Amazing.
Steve's first film that he's written.
Amazing. And you've had this much success.
Yeah, scrappy little indie movie.
Right. And then to top it all off, you get to do your U.S. premiere at the 24th Woodstock Film Festival.
Very exciting.
Your home state. All right. Well, actually, I know Adam, your brother, who's the cinematographer, lives in Queens. Did he say? Yes.
Yeah,
he
lives in Ridgewood. I live in Brooklyn.
Right.
Steve lives in Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah. Very good.
But very excited to be at Woodstock. I was here with a short film in 2010. It's been a while, but I'm really excited to come back here with the feature.
Me too. And I really look forward. It's going to be playing tomorrow, Sunday, at evening at the Rosendale at 9:30, and where we'll have its U.S. premiere. And you guys will be there. Some of your cast will be there. Matteo. Michael? No. James Matteo is he going to be there?
He will not be there.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Ruby Wolf, our female lead.
Oh, great.
Sherry Albert, one of our great supporting cast, and a few other cast members, a few other crew members. So it's gonna be a great conversation.
And if you're watching this or listening to this,
yes,
2 free tickets if you DM Featherweight, the Featherweight Film?
Featherweight Film on Instagram.
The Featherweight Film. Follow.
Ticket giveaway
DM
alert. Ticket giveaway alert. That's great. And this does not apply to any of the staff of the Woodstock Film Festival or of the film. And tell me just about your actor. And was he already an athlete? Was he already a boxer? Did he have to get trained for this film? talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting story. I think maybe Steve, you could speak
Yeah,
better
please,
to the beginning
Steve.
of it.
Love
and
to
then
bring
I'll-
you into this.
Sure. So
Pick up the
James
production.
Mattio's been a working actor for probably 30 years since he debuted in Hook, the Steven Spielberg, Robin Williams film.
I heard of it.
And then in 2008, I ran into Jim in Los Angeles. He invited me over to his place there, and he had a picture of Willie Pep on his bulletin board. And I asked him, "Who's that?" He said, "That's the role that my dad said I was born to play."
Really?
Right, it's about 15 years ago. And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. What are you doing with that?" He's like, "Not much now." I'm like, "Can I help you out with that?"
And how old were we age-wise?
We were both like early mid-30s.
At
At that point.
Really?
So I started to help him develop the film at that point, 2008, about the life story of Willie Pep with him attached, James Mattio.
Amazing. So is that a little bit like for like in a beginner, a boxer in the 30s already? Isn't that a little bit already middle-aged?
Yeah. So Pep, right? Pep was in our story in 1965, where we decided.
Stop banging the table.
We decided to focus the story.
Yeah.
Pep is 42, making a comeback. So by the
I see.
time we ended
Okay.
up filming Pep, Jim was 42 as well. I think he was exactly 42.
Wow.
But Raging Bull, think about it.
Yeah, Jake LaMotta.
Robert De Niro was 37, portraying a 19-year-old Jake LaMotta in the ring when we first see Jake LaMotta in Raging Bull.
Right.
So you've got 18 years wiggle room there, and at the end of the day, we ended up like almost synced up what Pep was in the film versus
Got it.
what.
Sylvester Stallone was 55 when he shot. No, I'm kidding. So do you guys have did you watch a lot of boxing film? There's so many. I mean, there's so many classic people. For some reason, many of them, not all. Certainly, we know maybe some that haven't. But so many movies about boxers seem to just sort of click with audiences.
It's
I don't know, what is it about that? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's the underdog
one.
story thing. It's the language
right.
of boxing in cinema has always existed.
Yeah.
For as long as film has existed, there have been Edison clips of boxers fighting. Kubrick's first short film, Day of the Fight. So boxing is part of the fabric of cinema, and specifically American cinema.
Very true.
But when we were
Great
getting
White
ready
Hope.
to, and there are great ones: Raging Bull, Fat City, Frederick Wiseman's brilliant boxing gym.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are great boxing films.
I guess you could include that.
But when we were getting ready to make the movie, I swore off watching any boxing movies. I didn't want to be overly influenced. So I was just watching like direct cinema films and Casanetti's movies and things like that. Because that's sort of the language that our film functions within.
There are challenges but let me speak to the genre just for a moment. In writing the boxing film, there are so many cliches, right?
Yeah.
There's so many things we've seen in the boxing film. So anytime when I was writing it, I was like, oh, that's bullshit. That's cliche. I kind of, how can I get to this, beating the story in a more creative way that we maybe haven't seen in a boxing film. And then, of course, we subverted the genre by doing the faux documentary, which is a part of, the aesthetic of the featherweight.
I can't wait to see it now. I'm very excited. I'm really looking forward to an opportunity to see it myself. This is the challenging part. I have to do these, talk to people who get me excited about their films, like you guys. I'm very excited, and then I'm like, I'm stuck doing, working the festival. So, but maybe if you submitted it, I might have a way to see the featherweight. Which again, I want to remind people. What's that?
We'll get it to you.
All right. Which I want to remind people is, and I know, by the way, that this is a human, again, like the best boxing story. It's really about a guy, all right, a person struggling, probably has some challenge, family story, right? And that's really what makes the best of these stories, right? It's called The Featherweight, and it's going to be at the Rosendale Theater tomorrow, Sunday night at 9:30. Tickets may still be available, but not probably too many. So, because at this point, people are like, oh my gosh, we got to get over. The Woodstock Film Festival is ending tonight. We haven't seen anything. Let's get over and see Featherweight. That's my recommendation. Directed by Robert Kolodny. Shot by Adam Kolodny and written by Steve Loft. Correct? I got it all right for once. That's perfect. Anyway, I could talk to you guys much more, and I hopefully have the opportunity to do it again sometime. So
Thanks for having us.
it's my pleasure. Great meeting you both. Now beat it. I gotta. No kidding.
Take care.
All right, it was nice meeting you both.
Likewise.
Yeah, yeah.
Those tickets as well.
Yeah, right. Again, that's if you write. What's the Instagram? Featherweight Film. Tag it. Tag the Woodstock Film to go, and you may win a pair of tickets to see the Featherweight tomorrow night. Again, if you're working for the Woodstock Film Festival, you can't. You're excluded. But it really is fun. This is for me. I've got another great guest coming up here. Is this Ava? Who? Come on over. Christian? Hey, Christa. That's okay. I don't even know if I see it at all, but that's okay. We'll figure this out.
Oh yeah.
What?
She was at the
Thank you. Oh, it says Christian. Oh, Christa Haley?
Christa Haley.
Got it. With a K or it doesn't matter.
CH. Yeah, I know. It's
okay.
A name that's easy.
There's my girlfriend's name is Christina. So you're move over. Come on over. I won't bite. And it's Swim Captain. Is that a short?
It is.
Which block are you in?
I'm in the film school shorts block.
Oh, film school shorts block. All right. So you're in film school? Is that what
I am.
You have to be actively in a film school to submit the film?
I'm not sure how it works.
But you're in a film school.
I'm in a film
Which
school.
one?
NYU.
NYU? That's the one in New York City, right?
Yes,
All right.
that's correct.
That's a good film school, Christa.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Sure is. Thank you.
Yeah. How'd you get in there? What'd you have to do to get into that? Seriously, I'm actually curious because I know, people that I have family members who've been in the film school, but I never thought to actually figure out, because it is one of the most competitive programs for a filmmaker or a burgeoning filmmaker.
I actually went to SUNY Oswego for undergrad.
Okay.
And studied cinema studies.
Is this
there.
graduate?
That was undergraduate,
Okay,
and now
right.
I'm graduate at NYU.
Okay, that makes sense.
I had about 8 years in between Oswego and then applying to grad school. I worked in post-production for a while as an assistant editor.
Good. That
in
probably
New York
helped.
City. I think
That
that
might have
helped.
helped.
Yes,
Yeah.
I worked on Harriet with Casey Lemons, who's a
Oh,
professor.
yeah.
at
What a great
NYU.
filmmaker.
She's a wonderful filmmaker and a wonderful person. And,
Yeah. I do a podcast. I interview a lot of filmmakers, and I was always trying to get her. It never crystallized, but this is not about me. It's about you. And the name of your short again is Swim Captain. So tell me about that.
Yeah.
What block? First of all,
It's right
has
here.
it played? It's in the film school of shorts, as we already discussed, and it's coming up. It's going to happen last Friday. It happened yesterday. How'd it go?
It went well.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
I am happy it went well. And let's see. Yeah. So I don't know what the film is about, other than the fact that I'm guessing one of the characters might be a swim captain.
Yes, that's right. So the film is about a high school swimmer who struggles with her tampon before practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could have also been in the adult or the mature short films block.
Oh yeah.
You could have been.
Okay. The
But-
next time you program.
No, they've got a great shorts program here. I'm not going to make
do
trouble.
have
I'm
a
not making
great-
any trouble.
They do have a great shorts program.
That's great. And tell me how okay, so let me just see here. It says a high school swimmer struggles with her tampon before practice. You're right. You're correct. It's 8 minutes long. And tell me about making the film. Do you have where'd you shoot it?
Yeah, so I shot it in my hometown in Plattsburgh, New York, at SUNY Plattsburgh.
Oh, so where's Plattsburgh? I should know
It is
this.
About 3 hours
It's in the Finger
north
Lakes?
of here. It's an hour south of Montreal.
Oh, so is it like north of the Adirondacks even?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's far out. I actually just came from there.
So yeah, and how far from Vermont?
It's an hour to Burlington.
Okay,
Vermont.
that's not so far.
Yeah.
If you're sick of New York.
Yeah, totally. You can just drive all over the place.
I'm sorry. So you shot it in Plattsburgh. I'm getting distracted here
That's
by
okay.
my own
This is
silliness.
fun. Yeah.
I hope you have fun. Yeah. So you shot it there with college students. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, with my classmates. It was for our NYU project is called Spring Narrative, and we have to make a 7-minute short film that is with up to 3 characters and up to 3 locations and up to 3 scenes. So that was the constraints.
Is that
of the
helpful to
assignment.
you to have
It
those
was,
constraints as
actually.
opposed to
It was really helpful. I usually picture much bigger projects. So this film made me scale down in a way that was really helpful. And I wanted to focus a lot on working with the actors and coming up with a way to shoot the film in an interesting way with such a, because she's in the toilet stall the whole time.
Right.
So
yes.
with the
So part of it
constraints,
takes place in the washroom at the gym or at the swimming facility or whatever.
Yeah,
the pool.
exactly, the locker room.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine that could be a great source of comedy, and because tension is what makes the best comedy. Is it a comedy?
It is actually not a comedy.
That's what I just said. It's dramatic, and it makes.
Yeah, when I do share the logline, though, people always laugh, but the film is
it
drama.
suggests that, but I wish I had seen it. So I would, sorry.
Of course. I'll share the link with you.
Yeah. I hope you do.
Okay, cool.
Oh, please do.
will.
Yeah, I would look forward to seeing it. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then tell me about submitting. Well, just in general, like to festivals? Was this where you have that work out? I mean, is this the first festival it's in, for instance, or have you played it in a festival?
Yeah, so we premiered at River Run in April.
Okay, I know that festival.
Yeah, it was.
How was that?
It was great. It was my first festival ever.
Oh wow, that's
and
a big deal.
It was a big deal. It was awesome.
Did you have a good time?
I did.
Yeah,
I had a really great time.
I bet.
And afterwards, I went to the Walla Walla Movie Crush in Walla Walla, Washington.
Yeah.
I did not get to go to that one, so this is the second festival I've ever been able to attend as a filmmaker in person.
I was talking to a couple of the other shorts filmmakers, and I think the nice thing about making a short is, unless it's really, really bad, and it almost never is, but there are some bad ones. But even a lot of the mediocre ones will make it into festivals because it's a surefire economy for filmmaking, for film festivals. That sounds a little bit cynical, but I don't mean it to. I just mean that it's a great way to give first-time filmmakers or second-time filmmakers a shot, and they get to go to film, and then you as a filmmaker get that experience, and you get to go to places you never might have gotten to otherwise, and it's a great thing, and you develop yourself as a storyteller and a filmmaker in the process, right?
Agreed. Yeah, definitely.
See, you don't even have to answer a question. I just talk the whole time.
It's great for me as a first
You're
timer.
shy?
Thank you. I'm a little shy. Yeah.
A first-timer filmmaker or interviewer?
Interviewer.
Really? Interviewee?
Interviewee.
Oh, do you want to interview me instead? Since I have no problem. I interview people so much, it's just not. It's a problem.
Yeah. Is this towards the end of it too? Yeah. Are you doing
well,
another
it's
one
got to be.
tomorrow?
Yeah. There's tomorrow's. No, this is it. This is the last day. Yeah. Tomorrow we're not because it's mostly to try to get people to see. I know in your case we've already seen your film, but there's yeah. All right. Anyway, again, the name of the short is Swim Captain. It was part of the film school shorts. I wish you much success with your filmmaking career and in this short in particular, but with any other films you make in the future, Christa.
Thank you so much.
It's really nice meeting you. Yeah. I'll see you around.
See you
All
around.
right. Okay. That was Christa Haley. Be careful. I know it's like an obstacle course over here. Yeah. Such really nice people, but that's the festival experience. There's such a sense of goodwill because everybody's just jubilant to be playing their films and to get people to see it, and the audiences are so appreciative. Oh, great! Come on by. Hey, come on in. Okay, both of you. Yeah, we'll squeeze in if you don't.
Beauty before the beast.
All right. Introduce. Let me see. You is this?
Oh, it's video.
Yeah. Is that all right? Great. It's so nice to meet you both.
I'm Dyan.
Dyan. Okay,
Machan.
hold on. Dyan.
Dyan Machan.
Dyan Machan.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure. MACHAN. And now you're official. And you are?
Jed Parker.
Jed Parker. That's easy. Not that Dyan Machan isn't, but
it's easy.
And the film is
Casanova and the Three Graces.
Casanova and the Three Graces. Is that you have to forgive me.
It is.
I know I work for the festival, and you'd assume
you need
any jerk working for the festival probably knows every film that's in it.
You
But
need not
No, no,
apologize. We are a difficult to
We're
class.
we're in the short films category. And
Okay.
it's basically a musical, so
I love
it's
it.
like a music video.
Yeah. Okay.
But
But
on a
it's-
symphonic scale, so it's 33
It's
minute
classical
piece.
music.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a short film and it's
Oh.
classical music, so that makes it. They put us in with music video night, which I think
I
is
see.
really flattering
Yeah, it's
because
fun.
we'll have
Makes
this cello,
Right.
orchestral music,
Yes.
and then rock and roll.
Yeah.
So
Right? Why do you suppose? I think probably I'm going to assume Americans are the most caught up in categorizing everything. Maybe it's more Western. I don't know, but I have worked for years in the music business, and the thing that really bothered me, people would ask me, "What's your favorite type of music?" Right, and I would say the good one, good kind.
The good kind.
Yeah, and the ones that are soulful, but that could be any genre. So we're very into genres here. So I like the mixing things up like you're describing too.
We totally are. I mean, I had when I was
Jed.
yeah,
I meant like when I was young, when I was a kid,
Yes.
younger, in the 80s, I was watching music, MTV, the rise. of the
Absolutely,
music
we were
video.
both there for that. Yes.
And I always had this idea in the back of my head to do, like, why isn't there like cool music videos for classical music? You know, like you take Hector,
Rights.
the rights of springs, right? Like in a Fantasia mode, but
Right.
like, why,
Yes.
why
Yes.
isn't there like I was
Right.
just always had that fantasy like. Why isn't there a station that just churns the stuff out, you know, and
That's
makes
true.
like
Right.
these mini dramatic form?
Right. And
Like
why
they-
would there be any problem? Because you're just promoting the music. I mean, then people will go buy it, right? So it's
Right.
like,
I mean, in a
should-
way, yeah.
there shouldn't be any problem with it. And a lot of it has to be.
And but the whole issue is always like kind of it's taking a pop concept,
Yes,
and like throwing it into the classical world, and so
Right.
you know how
the
that
classical
sometimes
world
works.
can be stuck in their ways, and that's
Sure.
they need to get a little
Open-minded about
yeah
open themselves up to
Yeah.
it.
So
Yeah.
this is our
Using
second
visuals.
film.
yeah.
Tell me. Yeah.
Now the first one was called Planet Earth, and it was designed for only to be projected behind a live symphony orchestra.
I got it. Right.
Right, and I was
Yeah.
totally into, as a director and a
Yes.
film editor.
Uh-huh.
I was just I want to do that. Something that's only to see live, you know?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
There's no copying, and there's
Right.
no like sending files. There's no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no YouTube that would capture that experience because it's live.
You're right. Yeah. No, I get it.
So this one, it took on a life of its own, where it was like, well, let's up the ante and do like a dramatic dance piece,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with costumes and all this stuff. And
I-
shoot it in Italy, you know, castles.
Yeah, we
and-
Sorry,
the whole
guys.
thing in
That's too
Italy.
bad.
Just horrible, right?
Oh well.
Yeah,
I'm
the
glad.
food
Yeah.
sucks.
It's. I know the wine, the people.
The wine and the people. Just,
I know.
Oh, and they
Those
live
are
in
tough.
this beautiful
What town?
medieval town no one's heard of, which is
Tell me.
great. And I
Which
shouldn't
one?
blow it, but it's called Balagra.
Okay. Where's it?
Villegra, Genazzano,
Uh-huh.
Cave.
So
Okay.
many of
These
them.
towns, like
Are they
in-
on the Mediterranean or is it
They're-
closer to?
No,
They're-
around Rome.
Oh, we're in Rome.
Yeah, like an hour inland. From
I got
Rome
you.
up in the
But they're
hills.
so
Yeah.
authentic. Italians
Absolutely.
live there.
I know.
Tourists come. So it's
Yeah.
You know, it's not really
Yeah.
a touristy area, but
No.
it's near Rome.
yeah, it still exists.
So anyway, we had a castle for 2 weeks.
yeah, we shot in a
We
castle.
shot
Amazing.
this giant
Yeah.
Fresco
Renaissance
wall.
American.
That's fantastic. Beautiful. Well, the good news, folks, is that Casanova and the Three Graces, which we've been talking about, is part of the music videos part 2, or due, as the Italians might say. I don't want to impress you too much. Grazie, grazie. Tonight at 7:30.
Yeah, and the cat.
Yeah, we're first.
Us.
Where the hell is it? Oh, the Woodstock Tinker Street.
Yeah.
Tinker Street.
Oh, I might run into you. I'm going to be doing a Q&A right before that. So
Oh, come on.
yeah, maybe I'll stick around. I'll try to
High
see
five
what
us.
they got me running around a lot.
Yeah, we have
Really,
the
really
cast.
like that.
The cast is going to be there too.
Oh.
All these young Italian.
Is that true?
dancers.
They came in for this?
We brought them.
They,
You
we-
brought 'em in.
We brought them in.
Made it part of the budget.
Oh no,
Kinda.
No?
I'm at
What?
credit card debt, but it was
Oh.
worth it.
Right.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, are you kidding?
Yeah.
If you meet them, you'll understand. This is a big deal.
Wow. So, and where are you guys based, lastly?
I'm in Italy.
You are
We
in
moved
Rome?
to Italy.
Oh, you are?
Abito fuori in Rome.
Oh, God. I mean, great. I am going to have to, I eventually be there, but I'll talk off mic about that. I have to come sometime soon back to Italy. I've been there a bunch of times, but not recently. But my parents would rent an apartment every summer. I mean, not every summer, but the bunch of last summers in a town on the Mediterranean called Sperlonga.
I know it well.
You do?
Yes, I do. I love that.
That's an amazing place.
It's all painted white inside.
And what's your musical background? You said you were in the music industry.
Oh, I was working at a Sony Music. I don't want to take too much of the time of the show, but I worked at Sony Music for a bunch of years in the creative services area. Meaning, I worked a lot with the art directors. I am not an art director, but I did a lot of stuff. And then I also, as this website where people could, or different companies could get promotional graphics, I would be kind of the key, quality assurance person, make sure all the graphics were available. It was fun. It was a fun time to work there in the business.
Music and a visual guy.
Yeah, and now I work in radio. And what I was going to say, I work in radio up here, not far from here, and I'm on the air. And what I love about radio is often you'll do something, and then people say, "Oh, can I hear it?" And I'm like, "No, it goes
away.
It's out there. There's some things which are not still saved to a hard drive or in a cloud. They're just out there in the world, and then they're gone.
Right, that's kind of what I was saying before.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
the first appealing thing about this project.
Yeah,
these
they're done live, and then they're
live.
over, and they'll never.
Symphony
If you're not there, yeah,
it's still filmmaking.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, it was so great meeting you both. I was saying to nobody in particular, in between guests, like, this is such a great fun thing, because even though I haven't had the opportunity necessarily, which I usually prefer, to see the things that I'm going to talk about, but what's nice in a way is now I can focus, since I haven't, and it's out there. In many cases, I haven't seen the works that I'm talking about with you, but I get to meet and focus more on just getting to know people that are here. So it was nice to meet you both.
Yeah, it was a pleasure for us
you're
too,
obviously both
and
really fun folks. So
I really hope you can see us, because it's
ciao
classic.
tutti.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you, Dyan. Thank you, Jed. Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
My pleasure. If you watch yourself, it's a bit of an obstacle. All right. How you having a good time, Maya?
Yes.
She's off camera.
I know.
But are you shooting for Instagram or something?
Instagram Live. So, like
Okay.
you were just saying, it's out there and then it's gone.
Well, I guess, but people can see it anytime. But
Well,
you're,
now I have to delete it.
oh,
Yeah.
you delete it?
Because you could either share it as a post. Or
Because
you
she's
can
saying,
delete it.
oh,
So,
and you're deleting it?
now it's gone. That's
Oh,
deleting
so
it.
people either see. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I didn't think there was enough, footage of me out there. No, I'm kidding. There's never enough, right, for a narcissist.
But there seems to be a little bit of a lull.
Okay,
So,
well then, why don't you come over here? Do you
Oh,
want
I can come over
to come over here and talk? We'll talk about the festival since you're here. Well, we gotta make content. Maya, what's your last name?
Makowitz.
Makowitz?
Makowitz.
Maya Makowitz. It sounds like a Spider-Man character.
It does?
You could be like Pete Parker's girlfriend or something.
There you go. The alliteration, MN.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Superman also, because it was like Lois Lane.
A lot of people are like, you seem like you're famous, alliteration, MM. And I'm like, no, not yet.
No.
We'll see.
What is your interest? Are you a volunteer, or are you an intern?
I'm an intern,
Uh-huh.
and I've been interning here this semester only once a week because I'm doing things in a lot of different directions.
Mhm.
But I'm a intended film major in studio arts
Where?
at Bard College.
Oh, at Bard. I went there.
Oh, really? You did?
Yeah, a couple of years back.
It's just a few.
I'm getting so old though that I have to own it. Like I used to be able to kind of just say, yeah, no, not that long ago, many years ago, way before you were born. But no, in the early 80s. I mean, so quite 40 years ago, when I moved upstate, my first place I was living, and this is exciting for people, but was right near Bard. Really? And it was really, it was so kind of exciting to be living back. And I didn't graduate from there. I left, but it was fun to be back. And of course, even I visited in between, but it was amazing to see just how you have no idea how small Bard was back then.
Oh, I can't
It was
even
so
imagine.
tiny,
Because
and
I
now
like
it's still
looking at
relatively.
the old newspapers.
Oh yeah.
Because they brought back newspapers for Bard Observer. They brought it back, and so we were looking through all the archives,
Oh,
and we
wow.
were talking about. We're like, oh my gosh, what was Bard like back in the day? It was so much
Well,
smaller.
there wasn't much of a film program. But,
Yeah.
But who were some of your teachers?
Let me think. So
Not to put you on the spot.
not to put me on the spot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of people who've been there for a while.
Mhm.
Richard Suhensky,
Mhm.
Joshua Glick.
Mhm.
There's Rebecca Morgan. There's
Oh, I think that name I know.
yeah, no, she's wonderful, and she's in the arts department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the professors there are fantastic. That's what I love most about this school.
Yeah, I would imagine it draws great talent. My girlfriend actually is a professor and works at Bard, but she works for the prison. Well, she works not full time. She works for through the Bard Prisoner Initiative.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you knew that was coming. You started hearing me. Yeah, so she's not on the campus, but she works in the prisons. Yeah.
So cool.
Not filmmaking, but
they
that
do
would be
make
really
films.
amazing if they do.
They do, because I was talking to someone in the Home Depot in Kingston.
Mhm.
And, my dad was helping me move in, and he asked, oh, where are you going to college? This. I'm like, I'm a film student at Bard. And he said, well, I upset one of your film professors, because they were making a documentary about the prison initiatives, and I was a security guard. And I said that I didn't want my video in any of it, so they had to cut all the footage with him in it and couldn't use it in the documentary. And I'm just like, wow, in the Home Depot, okay.
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah. I mean, there probably are companies like that hire ex-cons.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already paid your dues.
Exactly.
You've paid the price of having broken the law, right? You've been tried, and you should have a clean start, and you should be given the opportunity to have your self-esteem and be able to work and support yourself. So that's for another podcast, of course. Are we ready for the next person?
I think so.
Maya. Sorry about that.
An M name.
Maya, no. Mark Makowitz. Maya, thank you for keeping me company during the break here.
Adam.
You're delightful, and I wish you much success with your film school education at Bard College. This has been great. We're here at the 24th. Oh, this is treacherous over here. The 24th Film Festival. Who's the next coming up here?
I don't know if you have that.
That's okay. Just while we're, what's the name of the film?
Unseen.
Unseen. I got it. And the film, is this the filmmaker? Is that a short? I'm so sorry. This is such a challenge to get over here. It's like every possible obstacle to make you trip here. So we're gonna trip you up if it's the last thing we do here. I'm sorry. What's your name?
Good to meet you, Pedro.
Patrick. Great
Pedro.
meeting. What?
Pedro.
Pedro. Nice to meet you, Pedro. Yeah, it's like I'm telling you, this is treacherous over here. Thank you for that. Is true commitment. Yeah, have a seat.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to sit a little closer to you. How are you, Pedro?
Doing fantastic, and yourself?
Good. And you is Unseen is the name of the film? Unseen.
Yeah, that's the name of our film. It's Unseen. It's a documentary, and
Beautiful.
it is about actually Seth, who is the director. He's about to be here in the next 2 minutes.
Oh, the director is coming. Okay, and what's you're a subject in the film?
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
In the film.
Okay, all right, Pedro. Okay, come. You are. It says here, first word in the description that was written by Michael Taylor, my friend, who's an editor, wrote Pedro, an undocumented immigrant and aspiring social worker, is gradually going blind, exploring the intersections of immigration, disability, and mental health. The poetic and unconventional journey covered by Unseen reveals the things we often don't show others and the things we eventually reveal. That's a beautifully written synopsis. I wrote Go ahead, Pedro. Lean in a little bit because you're soft spoken. I want people to hear it.
Okay.
Which is not something you need to change.
Okay.
We'll just get you on there.
Sounds good. Yeah. When I
The director.
read.
Our director's here.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
move over one seat to your left. Good. That wasn't too big a deal. Great. All right. And we're getting the director, Seth Hernandez.
That is me.
Is it SET? Okay, it wasn't a typo. Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you.
Great. Let me make sure we're all in here.
Thank you.
There we go. Look at that. I have to move my goddamn face out of the way. All right. Well, tell me, guys, this looks like a really intense documentary, a really emotional story. Is that true?
That is what we've been told.
There's so many hot buttons already. I read a good portion of the synopsis already, because you are studying to be a social worker.
I finished my education as a social worker. I got my master's through the 6 years of the film. I was able to get my master's as a social worker.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
That's great achievement. And when you started off, you had some vision.
No, I was already legally blind.
Okay. So were you born with
my eye condition? The easiest way to describe it is I was, but it did not develop until I was in my teens.
Okay. And how old are you now, by the way?
Early 30s.
Early 30s. That's fine. I don't need to see it. I unlike I don't need to see ID. I'm happy just to have you here and grateful for the opportunity to meet you both. Yeah, my pleasure. And my biggest challenge so far has been that talking to so many wonderful people like you guys, and I haven't seen the film, which is kind of different. So I'm looking forward to seeing Unseen. What's your background, Seth? And did you go to film school? Did you tell me a little bit about your background and why you chose to make this particular film? And maybe you knew Pedro, or tell me a little bit about that story.
Sure.
The origin story.
The origin story. We love an origin story.
Everybody loves a good origin story. So make it good. No, I'm kidding. No pressure.
Yes. Well, my background actually is I did go to film school. I went to UCLA, but
that's a good one, I hear.
So I've heard. And it's interesting too. When we were in the screening yesterday, one of the people who went to my film school as a professor, she attended our screening. I haven't seen her in 10 years.
Oh my gosh!
Wow,
that's amazing.
It's really,
did
really
she know
tremendous.
it was you? And
no, she was just as a guest lecturer for my film class. So, and I told her I remember you.
So she didn't know you.
Yeah, she didn't remember, but it was beautiful that she was there for the screening.
I'm sure it was great for her to have that experience.
Super humbling for me, especially. I bet. And to your point, also, like in the story, it mentions that it follows the story of Pedro navigating being an undocumented immigrant who's blind. I myself am also undocumented. So my background after film school actually was in community organizing, advocating for immigrant rights. But I realized around that time that it was difficult to navigate the film industry for myself as an undocumented immigrant because there were so many restrictions to immigration status, citizenship, and having a green card. And when we were making this film, part of the reason it took so long, 7 years, is because during the first 5 years, I was knocking on doors, trying to apply for grants, but I couldn't even submit applications because there was always a checkbox about immigration. And that became the impetus for me to work with other undocumented folks who are also filmmakers, and we co-founded an organization together. And I was saying yesterday during the Q&A for the screening that you get one yes, and that can lead to so many more yeses. During the first year of the Woodstock filmmaker residency, actually, I was one of the first fellows here at Woodstock 2 years ago, and that was one of the first yeses we've ever received. Thank you to Alex Smith, Mara Blaustein, Sabine Hoffman, Pam Paco, and Julie. So grateful for them.
People. You can include me next time.
Definitely.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm such a narcissist. No, it's such great to meet you both. Pedro, did you have any hesitation? I mean, is it being the subject of a documentary that would be seen by potentially, countless people?
That's a question it's an interesting question because what I kept telling Seth is that if I knew how big
His
this documentary was gonna get, probably would have had second thoughts.
Really?
It's
That's
not that
honest.
I didn't believe
Mhm.
on the potential of him as a director or the project itself.
Mhm.
It was more that I always thought it was gonna be more like something small. But hey, it actually has a life of its own.
Right.
The project is taking us. We're not taking the project. The project is taking us to different horizons. So we're just going with it. We're just going with the flow.
That's a good mind frame for being the subject of a documentary. So how has it been for you meeting audiences? First of all, I don't know how many festival or opportunities or screenings you've had. I can say that so I'm going to interrupt and then we'll go back to my question. It played this past Friday, last night or yesterday afternoon at the Orpheum in Sauaré. And the good news is for those watching and want to meet Pedro and Seth and see their film, it's going to be at the Tinker Street right here down the street tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. So get a coffee, folks, and get the heck to the Tinker Street for Pete's sake. Damn it. No, start your day. Get started. It's the last day of the film festival. You want to cram in as many wonderful films as you can, including this one. It's called Unseen. So now I want to know what you had a screening. Were you in other festivals real quick? You were?
Yes.
All right. So this is your East Coast premiere?
This is our New York premiere.
New York premiere. Okay. So and how many festivals briefly?
We were
roughly?
like thinking about it yesterday. We lost track.
Okay,
Maybe
that's
like
great. So you bunch.
A dozen.
Okay,
so
that's
at
a
this
lot.
point.
That's great. So this is obviously connecting with audiences. Obviously, programmers are sensing that people are, because of the immigration topic, because of I don't know, lots disability,
health,
all sorts of things that are
Mhm.
really people are talking about. What has been like for you, Pedro?
It has been very interesting because I feel that through the film we're able to go beyond the identities of the subject and actually connect with audience in a more deeper level, because probably they might not relate to some of my identities or the identities of the film, but what they can relate is with the feelings of the film. So like
point.
we all have felt fear, we all have felt resentment, we all have felt anger. So and I feel that brings us a deeper connection with the community.
Right. You're right. There are we all share these feelings and emotions and have the same challenges at the end of the day. And this cuts through all these other more superficial differences.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, we just want to celebrate the complexity of the human existence and highlight instead of the differences that we have as people, because we do need to promote diversity, but at the same time it's also important to highlight similarities between all of us.
Amen. Amen to that. And what I was going to say, film festival audiences though, pretty. I mean, these are people already that are interested in those things we're talking about because they're choosing to see films that about the human experience, right? They want to see these types of films because they know that they're going to be enlightened. They'll grow from the experience of seeing it because they'll see stories like yours. So that's a nice. That's right. Going to Washington D.C. inside the Beltway and talking to people making policy. It's not encounter quite that same type of personality is my guess. I don't know. But it's important this film see policymakers probably, I'm guessing, because again, I haven't seen it.
Well, for sure. I'll just add to that too. I think with the yesterday, for example, this has happened twice at least. The moderator for the Q&A has not watched the film before. For the second time, no. But what happened is that because it was their first time watching the film, they didn't realize how emotional it is. So they were so emotional with us during the Q&A.
Really?
That's how. I think the audiences have been really moved by the film because it's so human. And I think one of our mentors also was there, and she was saying she has never seen anything like it, nor a story like it, because for Pedro, we want to make sure that the film is accessible to a blind audience. How do you make a visual medium for a person who's blind. So much of the cinematography, the sound design, and the accessibility of the
sound
film
design, right,
has really been shifted,
Right.
for a different kind of cinematic experience.
Yeah, I mean, and there is now, of course, there is audio.
Exactly.
With,
Audio
with
description.
yeah, which is it's encouraging to see these things happening, right? Yeah. Well, I was moved by, and I haven't seen the film, so I'm right there with that moderator. I'm moved to meet you both. You're both really great guys, and I will see Unseen. I will not unsee it. I will see it, and I will look forward to, I don't know, connecting to you both in the future. I hope I have that opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So again, just to remind folks, because that's what I'm supposed to do, Unseen, directed by Hernandez, and may I use the word starring?
Oh, yes.
Pedro. Yeah, is going to be at the Tinker Street Cinema. Tinker Street, Pedro, we're getting our photo taken. So.
I'm taking a video of us.
Oh, a video, even better.
Video,
Okay,
yes.
it's very within a video. It's going to be at the Tinker Street Cinema tomorrow at Sunday, October 1st. That is 10 a.m. And seriously, try to get to that first screening. This has got to be one of the first screenings going on tomorrow, so that way you get to get the most out of the remainder of the 24th Woodstock Film Festival.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you.
Pleasure
Pedro.
to meet you. Thank you so much.
Set. Great meeting you.
Alrighty, friend.
Jason, our official photographer, is going to join.
All right. Here's the thing.
Let them come. Just sit in there.
I have yeah. Yes. Remember the obstacle course set, Pedro. I have to do. Oh, we're on the air. I know. But I have to go to a soon an intro at 3:45 at the Tinker Street. That's all. So somebody please make sure that I have at least 50.
What time do you have that?
It's at 3:40, but I want to get out of here in the next 10 minutes.
This will be the last one.
Oh, okay, great. All right. Well, sorry, folks. I keep getting distracted by life. If anybody's out there watching, I'm grateful for you. But we're having a great time regardless, right? Right, Maya?
We're having a wonderful time.
We are. So,
Ready?
what is it? And it's Jason?
Yeah,
Jason.
He's the rockstar
Photographer. I know,
official.
Jason.
And then we also have an actress coming up next after him. And then
Can we do 5 minutes each?
We can do 5 minutes.
Is that, I mean, not to Jason. I'm sure we could fill an hour.
How's it going, Adam?
It's great. Finally having a minute with you. Actually, this is really great because we keep kind of saying hi as we pass each other, but I don't know you. Where are you from?
I was raised in Long Island. That's where I'm from.
I'm from Queens, so pretty close.
Right on, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
Suffolk
pretty much
County?
where I grew up. Yeah, Suffolk County.
Which town?
Over in Bayshore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's like a short ride to the ferry.
Yeah. And how did you make your way to the Woodstock Film Festival?
Basically, I went to school at SUNY New Paltz,
Very close
class
by.
of 2019.
Okay.
And I interned for the film festival in fall 2018, and then they called me back to work the summer of 2019. And basically what happened was during the internship, I was working operations, and photos were getting backed up, and I guess there wasn't a position for photo editor originally.
Okay.
So I just went over there and helped with whatever, because I was pretty good with laptops, and I'm pretty good with Adobe Lightrooms in terms of editing photos and organizing.
Right.
So I ended up getting sent there for 3 days straight out of the 6 days of the festival.
Okay.
As an intern back in 2018. And then I ended up, while I was there full time in 2019, during the summer, they sent me back there somehow. And then when COVID happened, the remote festival in 2020, Mia reached out to me and hired me to be her photo editor remotely. So just because.
How did that work?
It basically.
I mean, I know they had a bunch of drive-ins.
Yes, all the films were drive-ins. So the protocol was, I guess Mia just didn't know anybody, and she knew that I did it so well. So it was her idea. It's like, why don't we just hire you to be a photo editor? Freelance.
Yeah. Do you like that idea?
Yeah, I thought it was a great idea. So basically, what happened was I had the photographers, once they were done with each event, they would upload online to Google Drive or Dropbox, and then I would wake up at 6 in the morning, download everything, organize everything, edit it, caption it.
Wow.
And I would work until about 9 a.m., 10 a.m., send the photos over to press, and then that was done.
Wow.
But then 2021, things were starting to open up again. All the venues were opening up again, less drive-ins. So they hired me in person to do it for the week. And they hired me for 2022 as well.
Now the action is.
Here I am again.
Well, it's a great story, and if you're you have to be have knowledge of photography.
Yes.
But if you're reliable and friendly, I think you're kind of like, and you seem to be those things. Like you're going to show up. If you're promising work, you deliver it, and if you need to be somewhere at a certain time, you're there. I mean, it's not really terribly hard to be relied on and appreciated if you're friendly, and that's helpful.
Yeah, it'll get you far. Just being reliable, being on time.
Yeah, it does.
Pretty much, yeah.
I know. It's been great to see you, and I appreciate. And what I noticed here this year, and I maybe because I wasn't here quite so much last year or the year before, is such an incredible uptick with promotional content. Right? It seems to have really blown up in terms of what they're doing. We've been doing a lot of Instagram Live. We've got the StreamYard live stream going to YouTube. We've got, just amazing amount of social media happening. It's really, I have to say, whether you're a lover of social media or not, aside, what they're doing hopefully is going to have strong results because they're putting in so much work and effort into it, and it's great. I have to,
it helps the filmmakers, it helps the festival,
right?
Promotes the film,
Yeah,
the festival.
right. Yeah,
it's a win-win.
So,
yeah,
onward and upward.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Anything you want to talk about?
No, just happy to be here.
Yeah, me too.
It's been a good, I started pretty much 2017, so it's been about 6 years.
It's a while.
I know.
Have you to get to see the films?
No, I never get to see the films.
No. And maybe after? Do you get?
They send over links, so when I get the chance, I'll watch the
It's
links.
hard. You get this. Yeah, once the festival's over. All right. Well, Jason, last name? Vasquez. Lovely meeting. Lovely having a minute with you anyway.
Thank you.
And happy fall.
Happy fall.
Great meeting you. I met him, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, get almost no time. Careful. I'm telling you. We have a bevy of lawyers just waiting when somebody falls and breaks their neck. Okay, I've got 6 minutes. All right. Hi. Hello.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
I'm Adam.
Adam, I'm
Yeah.
Djaka.
Adam, how are you?
All right, man. How are you? What's your Anthony?
Anthony, great to meet you.
I think I've seen you guys running around. What's the film, Anthony? And
Me if you can.
what is it? Cut Me If You Can.
Yes.
Okay. And is it a documentary or feature or narrative?
It's a short narrative.
Oh, short.
It played yesterday. Where was it? At the Woodstock Community Center.
Okay. Which block was that?
It was Dilated
Pupils. All right. I remember that one.
Right.
All right. I'll find it sooner or later. This makes for really exciting. Yeah. Dilated Pupils. Thank you. Here it is.
Yeah.
And there's you. Did you know that?
Yeah, that is me. Full of blood.
Right. So Stuck in the Loop of Horror. I love it. Right. These are the horror shorts.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Or genre. Was that your intention to make a genre film?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. That was
like a horror comedy.
Horror comedy.
That's a big genre nowadays,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
The thing about horror and comedy, what they both achieve is attention, right? And people laugh during both films.
Yeah.
It's fear or laughter. So that's what you get.
Exactly.
What is it?
Fear or laughter. It's you
Yeah.
get one of the two when you're dealing with horror, and it's kind of ours kind of plays on both of them in a sense. But it involves, for years in the industry, there's always been a trope of black people in horror comedies. We kind of go out, we kind of go out first. And,
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
That's the other thing about the white audience. They never noticed that. The white filmmakers. Oh, I guess I did do that.
Yeah.
I wrote you off first.
It's like, oh, they're not going to make it. And so, we know. We knew that going into that, and we wanted to also kind of play into that.
Exactly. Okay.
And so
Right.
that's where the trope lies, and that's where the comedy lies in it as well. Like, these characters kind of play with each other. They kind of wake up and, one wants to stay in this loop and one wants to be more than that. And
Yeah.
I think that really kind of makes an interesting dynamic, and that's what kind of makes it fun. These two characters are stuck in a horror film, but they're also dealing with this drama between them. There's two of them where one of them's like, let's just stay here and be happy we're here. And the other one's like, we're more than this. We're
Be
more
grateful.
Than just a trope. Yeah, be
We're in the
grateful.
film.
You're
It's
in a
already
film.
great.
It's okay if you're not.
Yeah.
You're in a film. But one of them's like, we're more than just a trope that you can use to kill a character in a horror film, and that's it. But you kind of get more of that. And you get to see them interact about it and how they actually feel and how they, kind of deal with each other while there's, a man with a knife behind you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
But it's kind of plays along those lines, because imagine having to argue with someone walking down the street, but there's a killer behind you, 2 feet, trying to stab. And so that's what makes it the comedy.
Yeah, and that's exactly where the directors they started. Actually, when they pitched it to me, it was 2 directors, 3 screenwriters. So Sylvain Loubet, Nicolas Polixen, and then the third screenwriter, Jean-Jérôme Loubet. And
so you're both the actors.
We are.
We are the actors.
See how quick I am.
Yeah, and I'm also a producer.
Oh, okay. And where are you guys based, by the way?
New York City.
Okay,
New York City. We filmed in LA though, so that was.
We filmed in California.
California. Excuse me. We did.
Sorry, was it Southern California, at least? So you're not.
It
Don't
was
look
Fresno.
like Anthony's. Not,
Fresno.
Okay,
It was
that
in
counts.
between,
That counts. All
San
right,
Francisco
that's close
and
to
LA.
LA.
We flat LA. Sorry.
Flat LA.
Yes.
But so the directors, their idea was they were locked up as everybody else during COVID, and when that hit, they were like, what if we took our favorite characters, our favorite movie characters, and locked them up someplace? And then they thought, what about if we took our least favorite of characters? And so that's where the trope came in, right? What about the African American or the black trope of the guys that always die first? And so that's where the idea started.
I see.
So that's why Mike and Michelle, they're just stuck in this movie theater. They always die first. There's a killer behind them, and one day Michelle is like, not today, not today.
It's not happening.
It's not
Right.
happening.
Yeah.
So she kind of reverses the plot and starts taking control of the script. And Mike freaks out, so that there's like a buddy comedy within a horror comedy. It's like Get Out, but meeting Scream and meeting I don't know, something with Eddie Murphy in it.
Yeah.
So it's
All right.
it's playing on a lot of tropes, and then it becomes really meta, because the concept of the film is that the high concept, should I say, is that the film wakes up.
Oh, I see.
It becomes alive, right?
Right.
It's the ultimate
camera
villain.
through the camera.
The camera.
So
POV
through
of the
editing,
camera.
through editing techniques,
Which is a trope too.
It
I've seen
is.
in many horror films. The cameras peek through windows.
Yeah,
Brian De
like,
Palma
he
used
does.
that a lot.
There's a
Yes.
killer,
Like
but
that.
Yeah.
he kind of works for the film. Like the
He
film,
does.
The
Right.
killer works for.
Oh, I see.
He's a slave.
I have to.
Yes.
He's a
All right,
slave
let's-
of the film. So it
Oh,
becomes meta. So
oh,
with all the
okay.
editing techniques, with dolly zooms, with sound, just like little tricks, the film is going to come alive. So we did this
So it's
because
really pushed the narrative in a direct. I mean, it sounds like it might have been pretty challenging actually. 'Cause
yeah,
you're trying to do stuff. that-
yeah, whereas we have an
was.
amazing DP,
Yeah.
Bookba Benzebat, who really is absolutely wonderful.
Right.
But this is a proof of concept for a feature.
version.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And how was the screening finally? How was that? It was Friday night.
Yesterday, yeah.
Oh, it was actually that was great. It was received really well.
Yeah.
I think
Laughs.
It's a very original concept in a sense of people really haven't seen anything like that. Where you see films where people wake up, but people stuck in a trope when they wake up. It's like very interesting to watch. So I think it was received very well. People haven't seen it, want to see it. So we're excited to show it to more people.
Yeah,
It's great.
We are.
And I wish you much success with the. Is it going to be another festivals coming up? Or?
Yeah, we had actually the International Black Film Festival in Nashville yesterday, and also 12 Lions in Lexington, Kentucky. So that was 3 on the same weekend.
Well, I'm so glad. I know. I was going to say thank you.
Coming here.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of the closest. Not to take away at all from your. Not to take away
That's
from.
one by location.
Yes, and we
No,
have
I'm
some,
glad you guys were
some
able to
big
get.
announcements coming up, hopefully.
Oh,
soon.
good,
So, yeah.
good, and certainly, hopefully, for the feature version of it, I hope
Yes.
that
Yes.
is fully realized, and you guys are cast in those roles. Yeah. That'd be great.
Thank
Well, and I
you.
hope you're having a great festival experience and that you'll stay through tomorrow, or if you can, or a part of tomorrow.
It's been great. We've escaped the rain in New York City. So
Right.
we were
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. Yes. It's really nice meeting you both.
Nice
You're
to
both
meet you
lovely
as well.
people.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Oh, my pleasure.
Absolutely.
My pleasure. Thank you guys. And please be cautious walking because this is like a.
Oh, I'm left. Sorry. I got to squeeze in here. Wait, let me. I have long arms. Let me do this. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Thank
Corny,
you.
I
You didn't know what to do with the hand. I saw.
All right.
It's okay.
See, you get to see
you guys. Thank you.
videos of people taking photos. It doesn't get any better than that. A lot of screens here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've got to get to a screening myself. I am going to, just as I wind down here today, Saturday, at the, I'm just talking till I find it, the Tinker Street. I am going to be at the 345 of Crumbcatcher, doing the intro and the Q&A. So I've got to go over there right now. But thank you for tuning into this. It's been a pleasure. Maya's over here. Thank you very much. And thanks to all the filmmakers and actors and cinematographers that stopped by today. We'll be back next year, actually, hopefully, with more podcasts. And tune in and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, put on that notification bell. Let's see what else. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Share all that. It's really invaluable to a festival like this. So thank you for tuning in. Until next time. This is Adam Shartoff here at the 24th Woodstock Film Festival. Until next time.